Hi guys, this is HC605MA and I want to talk about the Flyinside flight simulator in this video. We're sitting in the default 407 model in VR. I will try filming this video in VR because you know, I can fly better in VR for some reason. I guess it's because of depth perception. So I want to talk about a few flaws that this 407 flight model has. It actually has some nice features and it feels really interesting, and one day I think it will be great, but for now it needs tuning, and I will show some stuff that is definitely not right. So let's take off. One thing, I think the ground effect is a bit too exaggerated, because I have to lower my collective a lot to actually sit down. So this may be a bit too strong. Now let's go into the hover. I have increased my collective just enough to hover in ground effect. So let's try and build some speed up to enter the translational lift. Look at what happens now. So basically it doesn't work. It's interesting because actually this is not the first try to film this video, and in my previous attempts it's actually occurred in a very weird way. So it is really bugged, and yeah, not the best landing, but it is really bugged, and it needs fixing, because something is quite not right with it. Let's try it again. So I'm in a hover and I want to, yeah, I just took my arm from the collective. Yeah, look at this. So I barely had enough power to hover in the ground effect, and now I'm ascending vertically with a very good rate. So obviously either my it's either my airspeed indicator doesn't work, or I'm not sure what's happening, but I'm pretty sure that it's just it's just some kind of a bug. So now if I yeah, you can see that again. So at barely 10 knots we have super strong climb rate, which is weird. Now if I will be slowing down now, and look what happens. So I'm not touching the collective all this time. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Now the speed is decreasing and complete stop. Look at that. Yeah. So this is really weird. It shouldn't be like this. So let's try forward flight. So to reach 100 knots I have to put my nose too low, I think. I would say dangerously low. And you know, it tries to, you know, flip around. And you know, it's an empty helicopter, but it just don't want to go faster. So I think that speeds are need to be tuned as well. It's too slow now. Also, I have I'm struggling to keep it straight and level at speeds above 80 knots, and I don't think it's the case with a real one, especially with the 407, which is quite a modern helicopter. So I don't think it's right. So about VRS, vortex swing state, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But anyway, let me show something to you. Yeah, by the way, look at that. When we come from like 5 knots to complete stop, we start to fall down instantly. It's not right. So VRS, vortex swing state. Look at the vertical speed. So it needs tuning. It really needs tuning. Let's look at the ground effect. Yeah, there's a tree. Yeah, the cool thing is you can actually crash into the trees, in this sim. So Yeah, here's nice round spot here. So now I'm lowering the collective, but the ground effect kinda holds me where I am. So it's really hard to land here. And if you will be too slow with lowering your collective, there will be dynamic rollover, which is really cool because it's, I guess it's pretty unique to the simulator. I have seen it nowhere else, and this is really interesting to see and to experience. But maybe I think that ground effect may need to be tuned a bit, because now it feels really exaggerated. So probably another thing that worth mentioning is that the yaw movement that occurs when you move collective up or down, it may not be strong enough. For example, I'm in more or less level flight now, and if I pull the collective like this, you can see that it barely moves. Let's come to hover, then you can see that it barely moves to the right. I'm not sure that maybe it needs to be slightly increased. Because you barely have to turn your pedals to counter this, and I'm not sure. I think it may be more noticeable in a real helicopter than it is here. Yeah, another cool thing about this sim is that yaw authority in left and right pedal turns is different, like in a real helicopter, and you kind of feel that the whole thing is hanging under the rotor. I really like it. Yeah, a good place to land probably. You can see that as soon as I come to a complete stop, I start falling down. So you know, it occurs instantly, like boom, and you're falling down. It's not right. So ground effect. Still ground effect. And still ground effect. Yeah. So you know, I had to move. I had to make a really long move with the collective to land. So I think it's a bit exaggerated too. So anyway, that's probably most, you know, obvious things that I have found. And thanks for watching, guys. See ya.